Now we have the cluster ready. Our YAML files are already created. Next step is to go ahead and create the actual deployment, deploy the application on the Kubernetes cluster. Use kubectl create -f acme pod -f acme service. You can mention as many files as you need in the with -f option. All those deployments will be created on Kubernetes. Well, this creation is successful. We can go ahead and run the command kubectl get services. It is right now in the process of creating the load balancer with external IP. And once the external IP is ready, we can go ahead and access the application. So we can run the watch command, watch kubectl get services L deployment. Since we are not interested in the in this particular service, we are only interested in the Acme service. We're going to use the label deployment to filter out the unnecessary services here. So Acme predictive stocks. Okay, external IP is already ready. We can go ahead and use that IP address along with the port 8080 and see how it shows up over there. Well, our application from within the Kubernetes deployment is now accessible publicly on the internet. We can go ahead and see how it responds. It seems to be working. It seems to be working for everybody. So now that the application is deployed successfully, the last step in this process, we can actually conclude by creating a DNS entry for this IP address and verifying that the IP address is actually a load balancer IP address. So that you don't have to use the IP address to access the website, you can use the DNS name. For that purpose, we can go to the load balancing again. You can see a load balancer that will be created over here. Okay, so there is another load balancer that got created. It is of the IP address 182. So this load balancer is the correct load balancer. It has the right IP address over here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the DNS zone, create a new record set. Acme predictive. We have our DNS entry here. It's going to take a few moments to reflect that, to resolve this name into the correct IP address. In the meantime, we can, our demo is pretty much concluded. We're going to just wait and try to see how much time it takes to resolve this name into the correct IP address. So we can just run the ns lookup command. It's going to take a few moments, we'll come back. Well, we have been running the ns lookup with watch. The ns lookup is now able to successfully resolve the IP address. So we can go ahead and see whether it is still accessible on the application is still accessible with the website name 8080. Well, the application continues to be accessible. Let's see what is the required or recommended stock for Jonathan. Well, the recommended stock for Jonathan is Pivotal. Let's see what is the recommended stock for James. Well, for everybody, looks like Pivotal is the recommended stock. So if you're a smart investor, buy Pivotal stock and get rich. Well, that I conclude with that. I conclude my demo. In this session, we learned how to create a Kubernetes cluster using PKS, how Bosch helps to automate the deployment and creation of Kubernetes clusters. We configured the Kubernetes cluster with the load balancer, Kubernetes cluster master node with the load balancer. We went ahead and created the pod and service YAML files. Then we deployed that application with the pod and service YAML file. The service YAML file had a service type called load balancer, with which it automatically created the load balancer with a public IP for the application. Then we went ahead and created DNS entry for that application. So with that, I conclude my demo. Thank you very much. Hope you will enjoy this demo and learn something from it. Thank you.